My name is Kabelos Tole. I am the COO of the BeMore Institute. I would like to take this opportunity and welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for taking 2 hours of your time this Thursday to come and join us. I guarantee you this will not be a waste of time, but you are really going to learn a lot. I just want to take this opportunity and also officially welcome my team, guys that we are working together from the BeMore Institute. I also want to take this opportunity to welcome our students. For some of you that do not know, we are an institution and we run courses, but I'll take you through that. So officially, I would like to welcome our real estate NQF level 4 students. We see you there. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This will be a great learning experience that we'll speak about for the coming days. Also, I would like to take this opportunity and welcome our CEO, Mr. Dendi Matamela, CEO and founder of the BeMore Group of Companies and also the BeMore Institute. He will come on later as the program progresses. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to take you through a presentation just to briefly tell you who we are, so that as we proceed, you know who we are and what we are all about and what we offer and all of that. Then I will come back just to give you direction as to where we are going next. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm going to show a presentation. Hopefully my network will hang in there. If it doesn't hang in there, I'll speak from the heart. So please do shout as soon as you see the presentation, because unfortunately I will not be able to see any hands. As soon as the presentation comes up, say we can see the presentation so that I can start rolling.
You can roll.
Yeah, we can see.
All right. You know, the funny thing is you can see the presentation, but I can't see it. It's still hanging from my side. Hey, it will catch me on the way. So basically, I just wanted to take you through who are we as the BeMore Institute. Firstly, as the BeMore Institute, we are part of what we call the BeMore Group of Companies. So the BeMore Group of Companies is made up by a number of companies ranging from property. We have our sister group there, POMET, which was very key in also helping us organize this event. We have our, for a lack of a better word, our parent company, Muma Investments and Muma Consulting. We also have TJC 100, which is in the logistics business. We have Letago Pharmaceutical, which is in the medical space. We have BeMore Institute, which is in the education space. We have Lavender Cleaning and Services, which is in cleaning and security. We have KPH, which is in the quantity surveyor space. I don't know if I'm leaving others, but in total we are 9 companies under the BeMore Group of Companies headed by Mr. Matamela. So particularly, who are we as the BeMore Institute? So basically, BeMore Institute was created as a response to the much gap that we saw in the market when it comes to property and entrepreneurial space. Basically, we are a number of entrepreneurs that have come together to offer training to other entrepreneurs. So basically, I like telling people we are not only academics, but we are also entrepreneurs. All of us, as part of the BeMore Institute in our own right, we have running companies that are active. So basically, over the years, BeMore has mentored over 140 mentees, that is in the real estate space, and a number of them, as we speak right now, there are successful property developers. Some are even on their on their second project. So basically, property gave birth to this great movement, but we did not limit ourselves to property. We grew our scope to entrepreneurship as a whole. So as the BeMore Institute, we are not just an institute, but we are accredited and recognized by Services SETA to offer 3 courses. The first one being real estate, which is offered as NQF level 4. As I'm speaking right now, we are currently running that course every Monday and Tuesday, and our colleagues from the class, they are here as well. We are also accredited to run a course called New Venture Creation NQF Level 4, and another one which is New Venture Creation NQF Level 2. So New Venture Creation is basically entrepreneurship. It's just called formally New Venture Creation. So that is who we are as the BeMore Institute. Basically, we want to be a global thought leader in the entrepreneurial education space, starting, of course, within the real estate, because there's a lot of information that's going out there, but majority of it might not be as practical as we think. As such, we have taken our practical experience from the ground, put it together with the SETA material to offer something that's practical and that is tangible. So basically, we want to promote learning by engaging with students and cultivating critical thinking. We want to aspire excellence in teaching relevance and also cutting edge technology. To that effect, we have a system in-house called a learner management system, which can house more than 1 million students at the same time. Basically, it's an interactive learning platform where facilitators interact with students and vice versa. So we're not only available in knowledge, but also in technology. Basically, we want to inspire bravery, efficiency, motivation, optimistic, reliable people, and also engaging people. At the end, we want to be more. Our motto is very simple. We want to be more. We believe that for us to have more, we must first become more. We believe that people don't necessarily get paid because of what they do, but who they are. As such, we encourage people to work more on themselves than they do on the job. Not for people to slack off, but you are also an important asset to your career, to your future. As such, we encourage people to be more. So just to get into the business of the day, why are we here? I think primarily what gave rise to this event was our normal course of business. We are running classes every week, Monday and Tuesday, with our real estate NQF level 4 students. As such, a need arose for us to have practical sessions, meaning to take whatever we're learning from the materials and to see it in practice. So that was the first reason that gave rise to this, for us to have practical, meaningful sessions with gurus and experts from the field to come, so that we can see that the things that we are teaching do not only end in the textbook. So basically today we want to achieve a couple of things. Firstly, let me start by welcoming and acknowledging representatives from Nedbank. I saw Mr. Matlo here with us. I'm not quite sure if Mr. Mufamadi is here with us, but as time progresses, he will indicate. Basically, we want to see what products are available at Nedbank's home loan department. We want to know about the bond originating opportunity. I think someone muted me. Am I still audible?
Yes, we can hear you. You're back. Sorry.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We also want to learn about development funding opportunities. Like I said, we're not only real estate agents, but we are interested in becoming property developers. Some of us, we have projects that we want to start working on and we need development funding there. So we want to know about those processes, the systems and the likes, and what are the qualifying criteria. So ladies and gentlemen, should you require any further assistance, I just want to quickly show our contact details at the bottom here. Please do engage us. Any question that you might have as we continue, that's our active WhatsApp line. That's our email there. Please do send us questions, whatever you missed, whatever. And if you are interested in the courses that we offer, send us an email, send us a WhatsApp. If you are interested in partnering with us in any venture, please do reach out and engage us and let's talk. We never thought we'd have a logistics company, but here we are today. You know, if you think there's value we can offer to you or value you can offer to us, please do reach out. Let us grow together in this journey. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the end of my presentation. Allow me quickly to play just a video so that I can usher in the next person on our program. Perhaps as I'm preparing from my side, is there any question thus far? All right. Normally, silence is not, apologies for that. Normally, silence is not welcome, but I'm glad, I'm assuming it means that everything was crisp and 100% very clear. I'm going to play a short video. Then after that short video, I'm going to welcome one of my colleagues, Aus Numisa. Then Aus Numisa will take it from here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this exciting session that we're having this evening. And I'm sure looking at the numbers that we have, everybody is interested. We are all looking for money, right? So today we're going to get the best advice from the people holding the purse and will guide us in the best ways we can navigate to gain access into those funds. My role this evening is to introduce our group CEO, Mr. Dendi Matamela, who is an entrepreneur and a founder of several vertically integrated enterprises within the built environment. His primary focus is in the affordable rental housing market and of late includes student accommodation. He graduated from Wits University with a bachelor's degree in architecture, followed by 2 years of formal training, after which he went straight into business. He was only 24 years old when he did his first property development, which entailed the development of 17 townhouses in Polokwane, valued at 12 million rands in 2007. In 2008, he took a job as the CEO of East City Housing, allegedly become the youngest CEO in the social housing industry, currently accredited with increasing the company stock by 80% during the 3-year term and doubling their asset base. He resigned in 2011 to focus on his entrepreneurial endeavors, currently with a housing portfolio of 100 million rands, which is based on historical cost and still counting. Having contributed well over 1 billion rands property development opportunities in the last 5 years through assisting others and his mentorship skills. His aim is to go public by 2023 with 1,000 housing rental units or R1 billion worth of diversified property portfolio. He benefited from the Black Empowerment Program by the Gauteng Partnership Fund, since which he has extended his hand to assisting many other historically disadvantaged individuals to enter the property market through mentorship, training, professional and architectural acumen. Just to mention a few of his accolades, he was a semi-finalist in the Innovation Hub competition in 2018, finalist in the Housing Innovation Summit in 2017, award winner in the Gauteng Partnership Fund as the Best Improved Client in 2018, and second runner-up for the Swane Business Awards in 2015 as the Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming this very astute and very outstanding gentleman, Mr. Dendi Matamela. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Wow.
Mr. Matamela, over to you.
Wow, thank you, Asnumisa, and greetings everyone. Perhaps before we could even go any further, allow me to just ask each and every single one of you to just give yourself a big hand of applause just for making it today. It's really a great honor to have everyone. Just a nice big hand of applause, please, starting with myself. I had just switched on my camera just so that for those who have never met me, perhaps can just see who I am, but I'm hoping that I can also switch it back off. More than anything today, it's about forging relationships, partnerships, exploring the response in the market. So more than anything, we have invited our distinguished guest from Nedbank, who will be taking us through. So I don't want to take too much time in doing all of those, but I would like to just take an honor and introduce our guest. We are expecting, or we have been joined by Mr. Tumelo Boy Matlo, who is really a great man. I've just met him recently, and he's incredible. We are hoping that this would just be the beginning of the many different conversations we would have. The relationship that those within our network would be able to access as well from the banking side, may it be brokering of opportunities, may it be funding of different opportunities. I know some of you here are developers, and some of you are property practitioners in training. Some of you are just people who would want access to opportunities and the opportunities that the banks have. The briefing that we have had with the two gentlemen whom we would be talking to shortly, it really sounds like there are some nice, exciting things that even myself, I didn't know about. So I'm really, really excited to have come this far with them. I don't know if you can all hear me, maybe before I could get carried away. Can you all hear me? Am I loud enough? Thank you. So if I can just read, perhaps just briefly, the credential. Like I said, the biggest issue, none of us are any bigger than the last exploits that we achieved, but it helps just to say what it is that we have done in our experiences. So I'm hoping that Mr. Tumelo, you will introduce Mr. Mfamadi, but mine would just be to talk about you as the leader of your division. So I can see he's someone who has 15 years of experience in the banking side, from sales to home loan specialist, and now he's heading the whole home loan department. So this is the last person you go to at the Nedbank, from what I understand. He also holds a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from Mancosa, qualified as a property finance practitioner through Wits University and Nedbank Property Finance Academy. And Tumelo recently graduated from Duke University, where he successfully completed his management leadership degree. And he is currently enrolled with Henley School of Business for Africa. What really caught me, apart from the many credentials that you can get as we grow, it's really his personal demeanor in his passion to building new relationships, motivating people. He has a program on Tobela FM. Those who understand Betty, you can join him every single Wednesday just to hear. But more than anything, the relationship we have here now, it's at a corporate level. We are looking for opportunities to expose ourselves and the people within our networks in as far as the banking opportunities. So in short, we are here because there are some few problems, particularly regarding monies. And Mr. Matlo, you are here because you can answer some of the problems we have. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Mr. Tumelo Boy Matlo with a big hand of applause. Like louder, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my CEO, my leader. Are we able to see my screen?
Yes, loud and clear.
Great stuff, great stuff. Let's do this. Yeah. Let me start by acknowledging you, my leader, Mr. Matamela. What a humble man, leading such passionate group of young people who want to achieve the best. I also want to appreciate your team that you work with. You know, I've met you guys the past few days, but the level of professionalism, wow, it's out of this world. You know, you are so blessed to have such kind of men and women around you. I also want to appreciate the guys that came through. You know, I know this, my colleagues in the field of property, our estate agents, anyone that is involved into finance activities, your students. And I'm not alone. I'm also with Jeffrey Mofamadi, who's one of my subordinates, is a senior home loan sales consultant or specialist. You know, there's a say that says the most beautiful fig may contain a worm. So I'm not going to share the pic so that people can see how I look, the video, just because of that proverb. But I'm sure we will meet. To you, Mr. Matamela, before I go into what we are going to share today, you know, there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I like this proverb because when I came through this during the day, I realized how transformational leader kind you are. You are someone who want to achieve more, but not for yourself, but you want to create leaders and leave the legacy for our upcoming generation. And I always say to the people that I come across in my field at Nedbank that let's not mess up the system. Let's not mess up the bank, because we are not doing it for ourselves, but we are doing it for the coming generation. So what I'm trying to say is that as we are going to embark into this journey of sharing about the opportunities that we have through the home loans channel, I want people to understand that there will be some of the things that are going to be a no, and there will be some of the things that they're going to be yes. So people should understand that banks are not charities. Banks are there to make commission. They are there to make profit. They are there to serve the families. So if we turn into a charity, meaning that your children's children, when they come, they will not find Nedbank anymore. So there are a few things that we are going to look at. We are going to look at the background of market trends. I want to look at the outlook of that. We're going to look at the Nedbank client value proposition. We're going to look at affordable housing. What is it that Nedbank is doing? What is it Nedbank offering? We're going to look at the current opportunities in switch attacks for the people that have got existing home loans. What are the benefits of switching attack? What is Nedbank doing if you are switching to them? We're going to look at some of the campaigns like your main banked lock rate. We're going to look at the home loan new tracker. We're going to look at the new developments in terms of your sectional title and also freeholding. And lastly, we are going to look at the referral opportunities that people can embark into and earn some money when they refer business to the bank. So those are some of the things that we're going to look at. But I want us to look at what is currently happening. We all agree that we are currently experiencing an unprecedented times in residential property market, which is involved into buyers-friendly market. And we all agree that this is because of the current interest rate. Repo rate is currently at its historical low. We currently have the repo rate on 3.5%, prime interest rate 7%, and you've got the FBT rate into 4.5. So your interest rate when you borrow from the bank, it's linked to the prime interest rate, that is 7%. So the bank will borrow you based on the linked prime interest rate. So it's either you'll get prime plus prime less. So they will look at the factors like your credit profile, are you putting in the deposit, the value of the house, your background, and also your qualifications. Then it will be linked to the prime interest rate. And also just to touch on the FBT rate for those who might be in the financial sectors like banking, this is the rate that the banks charge to their employees. So if you work for the bank, when you buy a house, you buy a car, the bank charge you a fixed rate of 4.5 that is become as part of your benefit. So those who are looking forward to join the banking sector, these are some of the benefits that people are paying. They almost pay half of whatever other people are paying. So clients are continuing to take advantage of the current low interest rate as this gives them a room for more affordability. But the question remains whether if the sustainability of the current high levels of activity in the housing market. However, business as Nedbank, we are geared to take full advantage of the current market activity via increased lending appetite. Just to share with you on this one is that we looked at what we wrote as Nedbank last year in between your September, October, November. We've actually written the business that was higher than what we've written in the past 10 years. So we have seen a very high increase in terms of people coming in buying the bonds. However, it is too early to say whether this will be sustainable. However, the application volumes continue to increase, and we see numbers that are higher compared to pre-lockdown. So people are buying more houses, and this is actually happening in the middle value markets of people who are buying around 1.5 million to 2 million. Can you hear me?
Yes,
As
yes,
loud as the thunders.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Then let's tap into what to start talking about the benefits of NetBank. I want people to understand that as much as we talk about NetBank, let's be open-minded that most of the things, 80% to 90% of what we are offering is what other banks are offering. So the information is broad. So our loan currently is capped into 3.5 million. This is for people who want to 100% loan. So if you are buying anything more than 3.5 million, you should be prepared to pay a deposit. Before lockdown, we were giving the loan to value of 100% up to 5 million. But this is not to say that if you come and say, I want to buy for 4 million and I don't have a deposit, we cannot help you. No, we will look at the case as an individual case and put in the motivation and see if we can override or assist you on exceptional basis. That's where the people like Jeffrey Mofamadi comes in and assist with the motivation of your bonds. We have different kinds of bonds in NetBank. So our bonds are access bonds. So meaning you can be able to take a further loan on your bond, you can be able to take a re-advance, and if there's money on your transfer scope, you are able to do that and take it. So the good thing about the access bond is that you can use the same bond to build your property portfolio. So with one house, buy a house of 800,000 rand, I pay maybe extra 1,000 rand on it, or the value of the house increase. I'm able to go back on the same bond and take the money and go and buy another one. So that's what we mean on the access bond. You can use it as long as you want to use your bond. Then with NetBank, we also have what we call an IBI system. IBI, it's an instant bond indicator. The instant bond indicator assists us when it comes to do the pre-approval of the client. So what you do, you go into the system. It's either you go via our NetBank home loan consultant or through our website or our branches, only with the ID and payslip. You are able to put in the information and it will tell you how much you qualify for, whether you qualify for with a deposit or without a deposit. We're moving fast. Now we go into the NetBank affordable housing. So before I touch on this, I want people to understand that at NetBank, we're not all about making profit and growing our market share. We understand that we need to play our social responsibility. We need to make sure that we contribute towards the growing the economy. So we are about putting the roof in the top of our disadvantageous people in our country, those who are still earning lower. So we have affordable housing offers that we give to those people. So what we are saying is that people who with a joint income of 25,000 rand per month or less, and they purchase a property of 800,000 rand less, those people, number one, we will give them a 5,000 rand cashback on the registration of the bond, which will be paid into the NetBank transactional account. So meaning you'll have to open the account so that we put that 5,000 rand cashback into your account. We will give you the 50% bond attorney discount, and we'll give you loan of up to 100% loan to value. And we, the bank, or only bank currently that we partner with the Department of Human Settlement directly when it comes to the FLISP subsidy. That is a finance-linked individual subsidy program, whereby there is a subsidy range between 27,000 rand to 127,000 rand which is available to people who earn 22,000 Rand less. We have set up a department or individuals that we call Flips Champion. So when the client comes in, there's a shortage of deposit and you want to apply for FLISP, we don't send you to the department. So the people like Jeffrey, they will give you the forms, complete with them. They will make sure that everything is submitted on your behalf. And also our FLIPS champion, he will go to the department on your behalf and make the follow-up. So it becomes a stress-free for our client. So these are some of the things that we give to our client. Another interesting campaign that we are running, it's what we call a NetBank switch attack. So a NetBank switch attack is whereby you've got an existing loan and the bond is with another institution and you want to move it to us. Maybe you want to raise capital to buy another house, or you want to pay the less interest on it. So what we are saying to you, if you come via the NetBank switch attack and you meet the criteria, what we'll do is that we will cover all the cost associated with the switching. That's your cancellation, registration, and initiation fee. So you're not gonna pay those fees, we will cover them. The other thing is that will give you a competitive interest rate, which will be risk-based pricing. So obvious people will want to switch because they want to save on the interest rate. And we'll switch over the remaining balance of the loan, or we'll switch over the original bond amount. And 100% loan to value is allowed on switch if it's a campaign. So what we are saying is that previously, let's say you've got a bond with another institution and that bond, you bought it for 1 million and it's currently owing 600,000 Rand. So we are saying you can come to us and take it back to 1 million. We will give you the 1 million. Then you will still have the difference of 400,000 that will go into your pocket. And then still try to give you the better interest rate without paying any cost of switching the bond to us. When it comes, you need to be, the client has to be normal client in terms of, we call them DCAS, so meaning you can be self-employed. So it has to be a client that is within our retail space. And the minimum loan that qualifies within the switch, it's from 500K maximum, minimum. Maximum is normal loan to value, which we spoke with on the first slide. So anything less than 500K, it will go into a normal switch, not on a campaign. The other campaign that we have, which is exciting, which we do this with the aim of assisting client in terms of affordability and to make sure that our client, they pay less. It's that when you apply for a bond with us, we'll give you an option to say, if you move the account to us, we will reduce your interest rate with 0.25%. So on your quotation, when we give to you, it will have two offers. The other offer will say, if you remain with your bank, the other one will say, if you open the account with us, this is what we are going to reduce your interest rate with. We also have what we call upfront main bank switch benefits. This one, what we are saying is that if you come to us from another bank and you say you want to apply for a bond with us, and then we'll ask you if you sign addendum upfront to say, I want to move the account to NetBank. So when we assess your application or when we give you the offer, we will assess and treat you as a NetBank client, irrespective of if you don't have an account yet. As long as you've signed to say, addendum to say, I'm gonna move my account to NetBank, we will assess you like any other NetBank client. So you'll get a better loan to value, competitive rate, and that will be accompanied by the addendum that you'll be giving to us. The other thing that we've done is in terms of the application tracker. Those who just bought properties currently, you have noticed that once with Nedbank, once the bond is instructed to the attorneys, what's happening is that there is an app that you will need to, the link or an app that you will need to follow. That link will assist you in tracking your own application. So from the time you approach Jeffrey Mofamadi to say, I want to apply for a bond, you are able to see the process of your application when it goes to the attorneys, when it goes to, you go and sign the document, when they've lodged at the deeds office, when it's registered until you move into the house. So you don't have to phone the attorneys and say, when am I coming to sign? I need this and that. So the application tracker assists you to track the status of your application until you move into your house. What are the documents that we require when you want to apply for a home loan application? Here, we're going to look at the ordinary home loan. We look at the additional documents if someone is doing a building loan, and the additional documents if someone is self-employed. One is that we need, obviously, the ID copy for both sides, latest 3 months pay slips. We need the bank statement, 3 months bank statement with salary credit. We don't require bank statement if you bank with Nedbank, ABSA, and Standard Bank account holders. You will sign the DEA form, the declaration form. So what's happening is that these three banks, they've got the DEA agreement that they've done. So you don't need to submit the bank statement, but with the other banks, we'll need the 3 months bank statement. We'll also need a signed offer to purchase, signed by the seller and the purchaser. So it's important that people understand that the offer to purchase is a legal binding contract. So all the information has to correspond. For example, on the property description, we will look at the ERF number. It has to correspond with what it's on the Lightstone or on the title deed or what it's registered with on the at deeds office. So the property description is very important. And also when it comes to the owners, it must be on their names. We really check that. Then for those who are doing building loans, there are people who've got land already. You've got a title, will need a title deed. And there's those who are going to still buy the land, will need the offer to purchase. There's those who already have the land with the other banks. We need the 6 months bond statement from that institution. We need the building contract signed by the builder and the purchaser. On this one, I want people to understand that Nedbank don't have a contract with the builder. We have a contract with you as a client. So if you appoint a builder, then the builder go and do the structure half, and you say you want us to get involved, we will not get involved because we do not have a contract with the builder. Then the other thing, we need the breakdown of cost. We need the NHBR certificate for the builder, and we'll also need the house plans. It's important people to understand that when you do the building loans, if you're using a builder, the builder has to have cash to start the process of building. Because what's happening is that once the bond is registered, we only pay the money for the land, and they will do what we call a progress payment. So meaning they will build maybe up to the foundation, come and claim until the house is complete. So it's a progress payment process of paying out. Then we also have, for people who are self-employed, we need your comparative financial statement for the past 2 years. We need a letter from the auditor confirming your personal income. We need your latest SARS IT34, and we'll need also the company registration documents. Now, let's move into the building packages, or let's move into the new developments. So I call it new development checklist because we're just going to summarize. This is whereby you are a developer, and you've got a land, it's serviced. If it's not serviced, obviously we'll have to put you through our property finance department so that they can look at financing you when it comes to servicing that land. So what do we need in order for us to assist you in that building? There will be some of the people who will say, no, I've got a land and I want to build from the I'm going to do progress payment form. Others will say, no, I'm doing complete developments. I sell houses once they are done. So these are some of the documents that will look if it's a freehold cluster, a plot, and plan. So we'll need the location of the map. On this one, people should understand that there are some of the areas that will not finance, as I said, because remember, we have to make sure that we have our securities, we get our money back. So there are some of the land that are still under claim lands, they are not yet proclaimed by the municipality. In the villages, for example, some of the townships that are not yet proclaimed by the municipality, we cannot finance those areas. So we need location of the map, copy of the site plan. We need to know how many stand numbers, stand sizes, the stand prices sheet. We need a copy of land sale agreement. So there will be an offer to purchase separately for a land. So you'll show us this is how it's going to be structured. We'll need the copy of NHBR certificate for developer. We need floor plans of whole house types. That will show us the square meters, how you're charged. Is it corresponding with the market? Remember, the square meters depend on which area you're built in and whether it's a single or it's double. We need the building specification and schedule of finishes. We need the building prices. We need a copy of building contract. We need the projected completion date. The last thing that we need a developer's CV, because we need to know who are we dealing with. Then there's also the checklist for sectional title. Location map still gonna be needed there. We'll also need sectional plan, the building layout, the floor plan of all unit types, unit numbers, unit sizes, copy of sale agreement of sectional title, copy of NHBR registration certificate for a developer, building specification and schedule of finishes, the unit prices and extras, a projected completion date, and developer's CV. So now let's look at the last part of our presentation. I think we've kept time. It's in terms of as much as we are giving to the client, our CVP, what are we giving to the agent? How are we empowering you as an agent, as people who support us as Nedbank? So we have a system whereby we give back kickbacks, commission to our estate agents, our agencies, and also to those who are bond aggregators and they work with us directly. So this is the commission that we pay to the people who source the business and give directly to us. So if you give the business to the branch, we'll pay the branch the commission. If you give the business to the mortgage originator or bond originator, we will pay to that mortgage originator. So here we are saying if you give to us directly as a vendor, I'll touch on the vendor, how you become a vendor after this. So one, we say if the person gives a bond, there's a commission that we pay between 0.5% up to 1.5%, depending on where you'll be sitting in terms of your business. I'll show you how we calculate that. And on top of that, so the first one, the commission is paid into the estate agency's office. The principal will decide on how he share with you. So some of the principal will say, I give you everything. Some will say, we share as per as per our split. Some will say, no, I keep everything for marketing. So it depends. But just to give you a clear indication is that in a situation, I mean, if we start you on 1%, so meaning if you give us a bond of 2 million, when that bond is registered, we give you 20,000 Rand cash. That 20,000 Rand, it's on top of your commission that you are going to pay. So here is an opportunity. You've got potential to make extra money on top of your salary. If you're playing in a small market, you do 1.5 million every month. So meaning there's a 15,000 Rand worth of commission that comes to you. And on top of that, we give this agent a card. On that card, we load 500 Rand. This 500 Rand is not from a commission, it's a separate one to say, thank you for giving us a bond, irrespective of how much is the bond. We give you a card, that card will load 500 Rand. The 500 Rand, you will not be able to withdraw it, but you can swipe anything that you want. And then we'll give you also a dedicated sales consultant. That sales consultant will make sure that support you with the pre-approvals, support you when you've got marketing activities to come in. If you've got the house shows, the person will have to come in and put in the banners and make sure that if you need some, let's say some cookies for that day, coffees, they make sure that they assist you in those things and the sponsorship of whatever that you do. So this is how the estate agency referral structure looks like. I want you guys, don't be afraid of these big numbers. This is achievable. Let's start down there on the on 0.5. So the 0.5, it's the interim. So what we are saying is that if this company is registering between 20 million to 30 million per month, so this company will be given a 0.5, it will fall within the 0.5%. We are not saying you must give us 20 million before we give you that. No. We are saying if we are working for a company that gives us, that is doing, not giving Nedbank actually, the business, whether the other one you share with other banks, but we are saying your company, it's a writing business of 20 million. You will fall within the 0.5%. Remember, if you do 20 million as a company, it means you are almost selling one or two houses, actually one house every month. I don't think there's an estate agency that it's opening to sell one house every month. Everyone is selling more than that. So as I say, don't worry about these numbers. My guys, we have about 27 guys in the department in our region, and these people, they make about, each person make an average of 10 million. So we write, I'm not talking about the whole stuff, I'm talking about my region, which is about 5 provinces. We make about 150 million every month when we say we did not work. So 20 million per year, it's what we're looking at your business doing. And then if you want to be on 0.8%, it's for companies that make 30 million to 60 million. So 30 million, so it means this company might be selling 2 properties per month. And then you've got the 1%. These are the companies that sell between 3 to 5 properties and so on. Then it grows up to 120. So when you come in, we sign you as an estate as a vendor. The question will be how much you made last year. Then you say, no, last year I managed to register 20 million. Then we say, okay, we will put you on a structure of 0.5% because that's where your company fall within. However, after 6 months, your company grow, or after 3 months, your company is writing a lot of business. You come and say, no, to me, the way I see things, my company, we are going to do about 60 million. Then we review that percentage. Then we take it to 1%. So it's not like you gotta be there forever. No. So, and there will be some of the companies that they just started, but the person says, no, according to my projection, I think this year we're gonna do 60 million. Then we put you on 1%. The other good thing about our you being a vendor is that you are not. We are not saying to you that you can't work with other banks. No, no, no. The contract, it's an open relationship. You can cancel it anytime. If you feel like the contract is not working for you. And the other thing is that, yeah, we don't prohibit you from using other banks. When you've got an offer to purchase, you send to all the banks, including us. We're just saying for NetBank, send to us directly. We want to do our own business. Then we will make sure that once that bond is registered, we pay you commission. What are some of the documents that we need for you to become the bond a vendor and refer business to us? You've got your ID, your bank statement, and so on. But these are, I just put things that much people want to say, oh, this is complicated. You know, I don't have this. So tax compliance, you have to be tax compliant. So we'll need you to give us the tax PIN so that we can obtain the tax clearance certificate. So these days, we don't say send us, we don't need your tax clearance certificate. We will obtain it for ourselves. We just need a tax compliance tax PIN, then we'll do that. So obviously, if it's a new company, you'll give us the document. You know, I've just registered and so on. Then we will also need the company organizational or company registration documents actually, and or curriculum vitae, which will be the company profile. We'll also need a personal and business fidelity certificate. We also need your shareholding certificate if there's more than one director. We need a valid EAAB certificate, Estate Agency Affairs Board certificate. Now, I want people to understand there that there will be some of the people who are coming as aggregators. Obviously, you will not have that. We will not need that if you are coming as an aggregator. And then because you are not an estate agency, you are an aggregator. So this will only apply to the estate agencies. And also it doesn't apply to property developers. So for property developers, instead of the EAAB certificate, we'll need your NHBRC certificate. Yeah, then we need the company background and history to see who we're dealing with. And the existing level of business. That's what I showed you there to show us what are you doing and so on. Are you having some development that are coming? Are you going to hire a few agents in your space? And then we also the anticipated level of business going forward, which is what help us to determine in terms of the commission that we are going to give you. Otherwise, that's what I wanted to cover. Thank you so much. I think before.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye.
Ngiyabonga. I think before that, let me note, they say he who gives a prophet a glass of water will never lose his reward. I therefore want to invite Jeffrey just to say a few words. You know, my guys, they know that I'm not their boss, I'm their colleague. So my colleague, Jeffrey, do you want to say something?
Big boss, thanks very much. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for giving us this opportunity to be with you to share this knowledge. And I know that from today onwards, actually, you'll never be the same again. And if maybe you have questions, please feel free to ask us so that we can try and answer them. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mfamadi, and thank you, Mr. Matlo. This was really incredible, very informative. We really, I've learned that actually I might just have been wasting money because we've been registering properties and all of that without necessarily making any monies. If you allow me, perhaps the best thing that we could do for now is, if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, just drop them on the message box quickly. Whether it's questions relating to the products that Nedbank is talking about. I know I've seen a few people here as well who are developers. Let me also just acknowledge maybe a few people, because I know that we have some principal or people are running estate agents companies here as well. I saw Poshia from Pomat Group. I saw Mr. Theo. Are you here? I know that they stay as well from Remax. Mr. Lita. I see there's Mr. Lita here. It's Lita Bonds. They are bond originators. So here you might just be experiencing an exodus for business opportunities on your side, Mr. Lita. But I saw someone that I would like to just introduce, and then when I saw him a little earlier, I thought I would have done injustice if I don't mention this. Sometimes we never really get enough time to really appreciate the people who have helped you along the way to really journey. For me, I think some years back in 2007, I was only 24 years old when my brother here, Mr. Zef Kolove, I can see right at the bottom, there's a gentleman called Mr. Zef Kolove, literally trusted us to do our first development. By then, he was the deal maker for business partners. And he managed to help us do our first project before we could have any experience whatsoever. And yeah, Mr. Zef is here, and really it is a great honor to have you. And I am really delighted. He is now the regional head of IDC in Limpopo. But like I said, this is about creating networks, sharing experiences, sharing knowledge base, and see how far and how best, but that we can share our knowledge and experiences so that we can grow. So if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please just drop on the message box there. I have a few that I would like to just start with Mr. Tumelo. And I know Numisa has also noted a few questions that were mentioned a little earlier. My first question, some and most of the people who are here are developers as well, people who want to do, to get funding for development. So in other words, here it would seem that some of it is really about housing and single dwelling and all of that. But I saw that it would seem that there are also opportunities for those who want to go into development. So if I have a development, or I want to do a development, or it's an acquisition, would I still need to call your office instead of going around everywhere, and then you can link to the right people?
We work together with other departments, your property finance, your business banking. So you come directly. So anything that has to do with residential, feel free to come directly. There will be some of the guys that will come through who want your mother bond. You know, we also have a department who does that. But while we are still on that, you've got people who come in, they want to do developments, and they don't have, they've never, maybe it's the first one. They don't have any track record, you know. So these are some of the things that bank look at. The bank is very selective when it comes to taking new clients or developers. So normally we say they need to have a track record of at least 5 to 10 years in actual development. So if people don't have experience, it's important to partner or have people that will mentor you in this regard, you know, have someone that can come through and say, you know what, I've done the development, because the bank obviously want to protect the funds. They want to protect their integrity. We don't want to find out that we have done a development in this area. Nedbank was financed, now it is stopped because this person has never done it before. So you better have someone who will hold you by hands. Then when you start working, then you can be on your own. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. There you have it. If you don't have experience, consider partnering with someone else who does have experience. The last one was from me. It's regarding the FLISP program. Perhaps it's a question that might still come from others. I don't know, but I think it would help just to explain what exactly you mean by FLISP. I know that your slides explained a little bit, but I would want it to be as clear as possible. But yeah, like in short, in summary, in your own words, without looking at your slides.
Okay.
What does that mean?
So FLISP, it's not our product. It's a product developed by the government Department of Human Settlement. And this product, it's used as a form of subsidy to subsidize those who don't qualify for the low income, earning. Those people who earn max combined gross income of 22,000 rand, and they want to buy property. So the government is saying, no, these people, they also deserve a house. So let's give them a subsidy that I said it's around between 27,000 to 127,000 rand. So you'll see the lower you earn, the more you will get in terms of the FLISP. So these people, they should be people that they've never benefited in terms of government subsidy, never had RDP before. These people, they have dependents. You should be having a child or someone that you're looking after, whether it's your mom or it's your uncle, but there should be dependents involved there. Yeah, and they need to meet the criteria in terms of the salary range. Yeah. Jeff, I don't know if you want to add something, and also just to explain some tips of those who want to come through, because I know you do capture a lot of deals around that.
Yeah, with FLISP, actually, I advise a lot of my clients who are earning from as little as 5,000 up to 22,000. And I guide them how to complete their applications. And once the application is fully completed, it needs to be certified. And we don't mind because we have an ambassador who is looking after FLISP to take all the documents and send it to the Human Settlement Department. Yeah, they are getting approved as long as everything, all the documents are submitted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just to add there, because it's quite a lot around the FLIPS criteria. So one of the qualifying criteria is that you must be buying, you can buy existing, new or old residential property. So it's not business. And you can buy a vacant service residential stand linked to an NHB RC registered home builder contractor, and then build a residential property on a self-owned service residential stand or tribal stand, PTO. Remember, I said Nedbank, they don't do where there's a PTO is permission to occupy. So when you are on in the villages, they give you the PTO from Induna, from the key. Yes. So there are some of the areas I know that so they've got. I heard you've got someone from Limpopo. I sat in their committee guiding them around FLISP in 2015-16. I don't know what happened there after, but there's some of the areas in Limpopo whereby they fall under the Kings, so they'll give you a PTO. I know you've got LIMDEF, Limpopo Development, that will assist and so on. And then you need to be a South African citizen with a valid ID or a permanent resident with a valid permit over 18 years of age, have never benefited from a government housing subsidy, as I said. And the other important thing is that you must have an approved in principle or a home loan approval with an accredited South African financial institution. So you can't just go and say, I want a FLISP. The first place where you must start is in the bank or financial institution to get the approval. Hence we say it's FLIPS, it's finance linked individual sub. It's linked to your approval. Then the other thing I said, you need to have someone that you look after. And obviously, if you're divorced, they will need your divorce settlement, death, spouse death certificate. Those are some of the documents that they will need from you when you apply for that. But something very interesting which I mentioned about the on their brackets.
Can I just? Oh, can I just interject there quickly, Mr. Matlo? When you say you need someone, you should be taking care of someone, do you mean it's not for bachelors, for instance? It's not for someone who doesn't, if you are just a single parent, you are looking after someone else?
Yes, there should be someone that you look after.
A dependent.
A dependent.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So, like for example, on the funds, let me share with this to the guys because it's very interesting. Share content. That's how FLISP is. I'm sure that it should help most of our guys, you know.
So whilst you're still busy doing that, initially I had suggested that people could just drop a message and all of that. I can see you can only raise up your hand. If you have a question, input, or anything like that, please raise up your hand and we will also be able to mention. And I think after here, Numisa, I'll allow you to bring some of the questions that people had asked initially. Feel free to just raise up your hand. I don't know where I would be able to raise up my hand here, unless otherwise, Mr. Munasi, you're gonna need to enable people to raise up. Oh yes, there's a space there to raise up hand. Yeah, if you have any question, any input, comment, or anything like that, Numisa will be noting your hands, and she will be able to give you all an opportunity before we can close. Thank you. Sorry. Continue, Mr. Matlo.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, we are seeing a person who earned between 3.5 and 3.2, 3.7. The government says if that person wants to buy a house, we will give that person 121,626. This is real, guys. We're doing this every day. So people don't have a reason to say they can't buy properties. If you earn between 5.5 to 5.7, you've got around 111,000. So these are some of, I think this.
We have an echo. Is Mr. Matlo, do you have another device?
No, it's not me.
Okay.
It's not me. Can you? Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yes, you may go ahead. It's fine now. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So, okay, people who earn 15,000 to 15.4, 60,000 rand worth of subsidy. So if you're going to buy a house of 500,000 rand, you will only pay 540. The government will give you 60,000 rand. You'll see the more you earn, the more it goes down. You see the last brackets there between 21,801 and 20,000, you get 27. So it's all about assisting the guys that cannot qualify. If you earn 15,401 up to 15,600, the government will give you 59,182. But when you start doing this and you're interested on it, Jeff will take you through it, and they will definitely assist us on this regard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matlo. We have a couple of hands already with us. I'd just like to say thank you again for the amazing presentation. I can see partnering with you, you know, most of the agents that are here, they probably went into this business just to earn their commission. But now your referral benefits look very interesting. And, you know, I'm sure many of us were not aware of these additionally multiple revenue streams that can land on our laps with such partnerships with yourself. Without wasting any further time, I'll ask Nonhlanhla to just share with us your question. Nonhlanhla, please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We can hear you, Nonhlanhla. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay, yes. I just wanted to find out from Mr. Matlo if one is interested in registering with them in order to sell, you know, their foreclosure properties. What is the process or the procedure?
Okay, Mr. Matlo, before you respond, let's take about 3 questions and then you can tackle those. Kani, if you can please go ahead. And then I also saw Dolly. Dolly, you can follow, and then we'll take another round after that.
Good evening, everyone. I just, Mr. Matlo, I just wanted to confirm or understand, get clarity on the part where you said that obviously, in order for you to qualify for the FLISP, you have to do an application with a bank first. So are you saying that a person would need to get an approval from the bank, thereafter, then go and request for the subsidy? And if you, the second part is, if you have already applied and you just gotten an approval and you just moved in, is the window still open for you to go and apply for the subsidy? Thanks.
Dolly, are you still there? Or maybe let's take Alex. Alex, please go ahead. And then after that, Mr. Matlo, if you can please respond to us. Thanks. Oh, Dolly, please go ahead.
Thank you. No, I'm answered. I've lowered my hand.
Okay, thank you. Alex, please go ahead.
Thank you, Nomisa. Hi, guys. I wanted to ask, how many times can a person apply for FLISP? And you mentioned that when you look at home loan applications, you look at people's qualifications. Why is that important? What do you do with that?
Wow. Excellent. Can I shoot?
Yes, thank you. May go ahead.
Okay. Jeff, take the FLISP one.
Oh, the FLISP one, actually, you can apply once. Let's take, for instance, you get approved now, you purchase your property and the government subsidy comes in. You cannot, maybe for a second property, you request again for FLISP approval. I don't know if maybe the question is answered well.
Yes, it's a once off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That answers.
Okay. Then in terms of whether if you can go back after the bond has been approved, I will suggest that we check with the Department of Industry, because they don't mention anything on their policy when it comes to people who already have, you know. But anyone, I'll share the information with Nomisa and Bridget. Anyone who want to the details of the nearest FLISP department, I will give them the details. Then we can just check and say, guys, my bond is already approved. I moved in, it's registered, and I see there's this opportunity and I fall within. Then in terms of there should be approval, yes. You ask whether if you must start with FLISP or you must start with the bank. You need to start with the financial institution, because when the bank do when they factor the bond, they look at this client is going to apply for FLISP or not. So the consultant, Jeff, on upfront, he will tell you, okay, this is what you're gonna get. Then you will advise him, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with the money. I want it to go into my bond as part of installment or for any other benefits that can be used for. The other question which was asked very importantly is about why do we talk about qualification when we talk about housing? So what's happening is that as the bank, we've got a policy that we use when we lend, So when I'm referring to the qualification, I'm talking about whereby there is a client who want, let's say, a better offer. I'm not saying other people will not get a better offer. We have a client who is let's say, for example, is a doctor. So we look at, this person is a young qualified doctor. So meaning the risks, they become lower. So we are able to say, no, the relationship is going to be high, it's going to be for long. Let's look at this client and give them the better rate. So that's where the qualification background comes in. So it's just to give us the indication of, who is this client and so on. But on top of that, all the clients have got the same all benefit on the table. So obviously the background and what the client is doing, how much they earn, where they are buying, we're going to look that in also into place. You also asked a question around, the lady, she asked about NES, from our side we call them NES, the assistant sales. How do you start selling those? So for you to have that opportunity to sell our NetBank assistant sale, you need to register with us as a vendor. What they will look at, they need someone who's got a national footprint. So meaning your company should be national because we sell nationally. However, there's companies that you only have one office, let's say maybe in Kempton Park. So those companies, what they do, once they spot a property that it's going for auction, or it's at NetBank, as you say, or they went to the NetBank website, because all the repossessed properties, you are able to log into NetBank on properties on the internet, and you'll be able to see that. So if you spot that property and you've got a potential buyer, you are welcome to send Jeff email or to send myself an email to say, gentlemen, I've spotted this property in this area, and as an estate agent, I've got a potential buyer. Can you please give me a mandate? Then we are able to assist you in that regard. I think that covers it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mufamadi and Mr. Matlou. We have another hand. Litamacha.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Okay, we have, we'll take 3 more hands. We'll take Litamacha, we'll take Ndombi, and we'll take Mulalo. Kani will come back to you in the next round. Is there, Danny, would you like to say something?
Yes, please. I was trying to raise up my hand, but for some reason, I have no idea where anyway, I wanted to say that there is another question that came privately, if I can hoy now before I forget. What is your take on funding student accommodation? So as I said, there are a number of people who are developers, and this was a question from Nandi. Your take on student accommodation funding?
Should we answer, or do you want to take more questions?
Let's take more questions. Litamacha, please go ahead, and then Dombi, you'll go, and Mulalo after that. Thank you. Litamacha, are you there? All right, Ndombi, let's take you for now.
Litamacha here, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I wanted to add on that F-slips. Actually, it was not a question as such, because of I saw some people asking questions. The F-slips, normally what they will do, they want you to use it towards the deposit or your bond costs. So if someone already moved into the property I would say that person already, we could say, credit-wise, you afforded to pay your deposit or your bond costs. So it's something that we need to make sure that once you move in, it means then you did not actually need or maybe seek the government's help because of you already afforded to pay your costs or you paid the deposit towards that. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention was with regards to the dependents. On the dependents part, you use that, it's like a motivation, because if you say, okay, I cannot afford this, then I've got more dependents on this. It's giving you more points to look at your approval on the FSLIP side. That's all from me, because I worked with FSLIP as well, and then I'm helping few clients on the bond origination side. And then obviously you need AIP before. Once you get AIP, then the client will assist him to apply for that FSLIP part. Thank you.
Thank you, Litamaga. What is an AIP?
AIP is approved in principle. Sorry. Approved in principle, yeah.
Approved in principle, thank you.
Yes.
Dombi, please go ahead, and then Mulalo, and then we'll give the gentleman an opportunity to respond. Thanks.
Good evening, colleagues. It's Ntombi here. My question goes to Mr. Matlo regarding the commission structure for the vendors. Is the estate agent company that must register as a vendor with you, or me as an estate agent? Can I also register myself as a vendor? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mulalo.
Thank you. It's Patricia speaking. I would like to find out, I know that the two gentlemen who presented are not from the development financing, but I'm sure they might be able to guide us. I want to find out what is the maximum or minimum and maximum percentage funding for developments, specifically for build and sell. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And I think another question I can put in there is the one linked to what Patricia was raising. The issue, once you've partnered with someone, you're a first-time developer, or you have your 5 years experience, there is always the issue that of equity funding. Usually for development finance, it's difficult to get 100% funding. Is there a strategy, or is there a department, or is there a way that a Nedbank can assist in funding the gap, which we call equity funding? Sure. Thank you. Mr. Mulalo and Mr. Mufamadi, if you may go ahead. Thanks.
It's Tumela Matlo, not Malala. So when it comes to the student accommodation, yes, we do. Same applies to the developments. So we'll look also at the experience. So it will depend on whether if someone wants to buy a block of flats or you want to buy individually, So obviously if you want to buy one, then that one is not a problem. It's just a normal application. Then you ask the maximum and the minimum in terms of the property development. So each applicant will differ depending on the various factors, such as your financial standing of shareholders. So the maximum funding, it's normally around 80% loan to cost. And the minimum funding depends on the client's pipeline, etc. However, will not do a deal below 10 million if it is a once-off deal. So meaning that will be the minimum if it's a once-off deal. But as I said, it depends on the client's pipeline. This is the standard policy. And when it comes to the maximum funding, there is no cap on that one. You also asked the question around was it around the equity funding assistance? We do have a division called Property Partners. They specialize with what we call mezzanine funding, which is a top-up funding or an equity funding. So they look at certain returns to be made depending on the certain factors, such as how long the monies will be out in the market, etc. However, a vital factor in their calculation is the return of the project, how much the project will be making. And on this one, we'll also not want to get involved with a project that make less than 15% net profit. So that one, it's a standard, less than 15% net profit. So we've got a department that deals with that. So if guys want to inquire more and they want us to connect them with the consultant that will assist with top-up funding, equity funding, we'll definitely be happy to assist that, and I'm sure they will elaborate more and guide you.
Another question, Mr. T, about the commission structure. Can one come alone as an agent or? Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to the commission, guys, we only sign vendors. So vendors, these are businesses. So you need to come we register agencies, not agent. Let me put it like that. Unless if you come as a bond aggregator, so there you'll be alone with your registered company. So we deal with companies. So we pay into the agency. The agency is the one that decide. It's only those cards that I mentioned what we give to individual agents. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, colleagues. We have Portia, and I'm not sure, Litamacha, if you would like to come back again. Oh, Kani as well. We said we'll take you in the next round. Let's have Portia, Kani, and Litamacha if your hand is still up. Thank you.
Thank you, Osmumisa. My question is on the sales, okay, from an estate agent perspective. You mentioned that you are able to allocate a salesperson that we can work with from Nedbank. Just some clarity on that, how that works. Does it happen when we have registered, or is it on merit? You know, after we've sold a couple of houses, that we are able to get somebody that we work with. Yeah, just some clarity on that.
No, it's not on that. You actually have someone that you can work with. Is Jeffrey Mufamadi. He will share with his details after. So you don't have to wait for you to become a vendor. And even if you work with him now, and then after 6 months you decide to become a vendor formally, we will make sure that we backdate you and pay you for every single deal that you've given to Jeffrey from today after this conversation.
Thank you.
So you don't have to wait for you to become a vendor to start working. Your work, keep the record of those deals. We'll make sure that we backdate and pay you for that. We'll put that on the email when you start sending a deal to say we will backdate you and pay you for all the commission once you become a vendor. But that is you need to be done within 6 months. If not, you don't have aim to become a vendor. You just want to come to us directly because we want a good service. You want someone who's got internal solutions, someone who can fight for your loan to value, your interest rate. You want to deal with the bank directly. You are more than welcome to do that.
Okay, I don't want to create a dialogue now, but can I still continue?
Yes.
Yes, please do.
Okay. Particularly on the issue where you mentioned that Nedbank is, able to come through. Say, for instance, I've got an onshore house that I'm showing. Nedbank is able to come through with some marketing material and stuff like that. So that those kind of things I would still get from Mr. Mufumadi.
Look, we're here to develop each other. So you rub our back, we'll rub your back. We will come. Tell Jeff you got something this weekend, he must bring muffins, he will come.
Thank you.
You're on, Mr. Mufamadi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Kani, please go ahead.
Thank you. I just have a couple of questions under one under the development side, and then also on the switch attack. Okay. Under the development side, we spoke about the part that I would need to partner if it is going to be my first time. I would need to partner with somebody that's got experience. Yes. But now, just like Mr. Dandy, as he was being introduced and so forth, and when he spoke of Mr. Zefu Kovela, who assisted them with their first development. In a case where Nedbank declines my application because it is the first time and I do not have the necessary experience, but thereafter Mr. Zef comes on board and assists me as well as a developer, would Nedbank still look at the part of funding on the equity, looking at the fact that we've got an AIP? I learned a new terminology there. That is the first one. The second thing, on the switch attack, Nedbank declines me on my application. After approves me. Would you still allow for a switch attack to happen on such a deal? Number two, why would you take me where else you would have declined me and ABSA would have given me? I'm just using ABSA as an example. ABSA would have taken me on board. Thirdly, what is the advantage of doing a switch attack with a bank that had originally declined you, or any advantage of having that? When you, the last thing, when you were talking about switch attack, you said something about you can't be self-employed or something along those lines. I didn't get that part. If maybe you can just clear me on what you were saying with regards to that. Thank you.
Okay. Great stuff. I think it's 3 questions, Numisa. Let me take them. The first one is when it comes to you have been declined before and now you've got someone that comes in with experience. Yes, definitely we can look at that. The reason why we have a consultant is to assist and motivate your application, so you can still reapply and submit with the new partner who's got an experience. So that one, it's not won't be an issue. Then you also ask around the switch attack. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say this way. As much as my blood is green, but I always say to the people that for me, all the banks are the same. It depends on the consultant that is assisting you at that time, how keen they are, how super they are, how wise they are, how do they structure the deal. That's how it is. So we have a group of experts, hence we call them home loan specialists. So they focus on only home loans. They don't do any other product because home loan is a very complex thing, you know. Like the Jeffrey, they don't do any other thing. They only do a home loan, nothing else. So I'm sorry that you were declined. I'm not sure which channel you used, whereby you got declined. Then when it comes to will we be able to switch back? Yes, we will be able to switch back. If you want to switch again, and it's fall within switch attack, because remember, we can switch 100% of the bond. Unlike before, we'll say we'll only do 80%, meaning that you should have paid 20% that side, or the value of the house has grown, so that we can you can switch back. So you can always switch back. And the main aim of switching, why do you want to switch? I want to switch because you are giving me a better offer. So if I've got a bond with another bank and then I want to switch to Nedbank, and then Nedbank give me an offer which is better than the bank, that then I'll take the offer and go back to that bank and say, look guys, I'm switching over to Nedbank. Are you willing to beat them on this? That is the honest business, guys. So we can switch back, and the aim is to get you the better interest rate, irrespective of you were declined before and so on because of someone who were not keen. Then you also ask about when we mention the client should not be self-employed. So yes, we can switch the bond to whether it's self-employed or retail clients. However, we are saying under the switch attack benefits, these benefits only apply to clients who are working, client who are they fall within the retail space.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Matlo. Yes. Portia, do you have a question? Your speaker is on.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay. Tina, are you able to come through?
Hi, Numisa, can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good evening, sir, and good evening, everybody. And this was really interesting, and I think we would like to take part of this. Firstly, I would like to ask, is there application forms that we as agents or agency companies must complete for you? And if so, if we can maybe ask you to send us those information or documentation, please.
Okay, great stuff.
And then I want to ask you, FSP, that is the financial service providers, are we going to fall as agents under this act of the bank, or under what platform are we going to operate? Do we have to register or do you have to register us? Because in principle, we are now, although it's on a commission type of basis, working for the bank, and we are going to give financial advice to our clients. And I think if I can recall it correctly, according to the Act, we have to be registered. How will we be treated? Please, if you can help us there.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Matlo, before you respond, can we take Vivian, which will be our last hand because of time. Vivian, please go ahead. Then Mr. Matlo can wrap up, and then Mr. Gabelo will take over from.
Okay, evening everyone. I also want to take this opportunity to say thank you. It was very insightful what was shared tonight, but not being an estate agent, I would like to find out in terms of marketing the same thing that we experienced tonight, so that we bring it back home, like in a corporate sector. I work with a lot of people that are in the warehouse, and I know that they fall within the salary bracket that was mentioned, so that they get awareness in terms of what is available for them. Are you guys open to share the same information if you were to be invited within a corporate structure?
Mr. Matlobu, you may go ahead, or Mr. Mufumati.
The second one, thank you so much, my sister, for the opportunity. We will definitely come running. As I said, that our job is it's not about growing our market share or making profit. It's about putting the roof to the ordinary citizen in our country, you know. So those people, they deserve it also. Anytime you feel you want us to come, we'll definitely do that. Take our details, arrange it. We'll definitely come and assist those guys. And we'll also bring the other solution in terms of our accounts where they can save more, because you know, some people, they happy when they are called, I've got a private banker, but they don't know what comes with that. So we'll definitely bring more information also around that. Then my first sister, she asked about the forms. So Numisa, maybe after you can take the the emails and the numbers of the people that want to engage us after, then we'll definitely send them the forms. And then she asked in terms of if we're going to register them because they're gonna start doing financial advice or something like that. So basically what you guys should be doing, you will still be doing the same job that we are doing if you are an agent. Your job is just to refer, it's just to send everything, to sign the offer to purchase, you send it to Jeffrey. Jeffrey will run with everything. He will be the one who close the deal. He'll be the one that advise the client. So you don't have to worry in terms of that one. Then we don't register you as an agent. We register you as a vendor. So there will be a vendor code that we give to you. And this is what all the big companies, I don't want to mention their names, we work with them. They make a lot of money, they make a lot of commission from the, so we give you a code. So whenever you go to and you apply for a bond with Jeffrey or whoever home loan specialist, so they use that vendor code to capture your application, then it comes to you. So we just call you one of our vendor.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I understand.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I think what I'm taking away from this session is that, as you are giving responses to the questions that you're asking, you kind of explain the reason behind it. And it also gives one the sense of what you need to go back and fix so that you can come back and be able to know to, as you put it, have direct access to the vault through our dedicated sales consultants. Thank you very much. I know that there is an individual who's been dedicated to do the thanking part, but I think just to thank you on this part on how you handle the questions, and I'm sure there will be many. Please bear with us if tomorrow you receive further emails in terms of further questions that individuals would like to pose to you. But we really appreciate your time and the effort you've made in actually making this session such a productive, workable session. Mr. Sitole, I hand over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Asnomisa. Thank you very much, Mr. Matlo and Mr. Mufamali. Ladies and gentlemen, before I hand over to Mr. Matamela for official closing, I just want us to deal with a few logistics regarding the presentations and the emails and everything. So on our screen there, those are our WhatsApp details and our email. This is what will happen. We will consolidate the presentations and the contact details. Then we will send them to the emails that people used to register, because we had a registration form for the event, and through that registration form, you would have received the link to this event. So we use that very same database as our basis of communication. So if you didn't register, the form is not closed, please go there and register on that Google Forms so that your email is captured, so that when we send this presentation and the contact details from Nedbank, you are part of that emailing list. Alternatively, if you have any questions, you can forward them to info@bemorinstitute.co.za and we will answer you as soon as we can. Just please be patient with us, because as we are speaking right now, there are questions coming through. We will attend to each and every email. Just please be patient with us. Thank you very much. Mr. Matamela, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Stolle, and thank you to our distinguished guests once again for taking your time. I'm looking at this as really the beginning of a partnership between ourselves and Nedbank, and also as we extended the invite to those in our sphere of influence, we are hoping that we have opened a channel. So when our people call in the name of BeMore Institute or mention anyone famous here, please don't shut the phones. we would like that at least this could be the beginning of many more other different opportunities that could come. There are lots of people here. Some of the questions that were coming out are questions that were being raised by employers, people who have genuine number of employers in their care. You can hear, they want to hear this because they have a sizable number of people whom they are paying. I think they want to justify the fact that they're paying their employees less than 22,000 rands. At least I can go with something else back to the guys to say, guys, don't worry, we have please progress. So, Mr. Kani, we saw you. But it has really been awesome. There are still conversations we need to have regarding the development side, for instance, scaling up. I've seen a lot of guys who are interested in developing, but I think there is something very unique that we didn't talk a lot about, and I would like to just bring it out in conclusion. Aggregating, I know I asked this question yesterday and you clarified, but aggregating, from what I understand, is if you are not an estate agent, the aggregation is an individual. Anyone can apply and become an aggregator, which means when people apply for bonds and all of that, they can get that application done. So it's literally anyone. And if I'm right, you can just say, yes, I'm right. I'll also give you an opportunity to make your own closing remarks in that regard. But yeah, if you are not an estate agent or a property practitioner, as we call them now, you can still be able to help people as an aggregator. So you don't need to be an estate agent, but also if you are a property practitioner, you can set up an office in your own corner to just help people with bond registration. I would like to also thank my team. We would not have done this without all of you. Thank you, Numisa. Thank you, Mr. Stolle, for driving this. Thank you, Bridget, for the coordination and the many more other different people. Some of them are not necessarily here. Thank you, Rina, for leading our class. She is our main facilitator for the real estate class, and also the main person on POMAT side as well. So thank you for all the travels. You can see that there are a whole lot of nice opportunities that we are able to do. I see some really nice people, without necessarily mentioning everyone's name, who have joined. But I think for a lack of a better word, I have noticed Mr. Takunda from Venetia Capital. We hosted him during the Section 12J event. It's really a great honor to continue supporting one another in this kind of endeavors. I mean, today we are actually celebrating, maybe this is something worth mentioning. We are celebrating one of the development that Venetia Capital helped us secure funding for. We had partnered with one of the guys. I saw Ajay is still here. I thought you were going to play the video. Maybe that would be nice. Yes, it just got registered today, courtesy of Venetia Capital. So we have been looking at expandable opportunities to partner with people, to associate with companies like Nedbank, to expand our network, expose our people, those within our sphere of influence, to many different opportunities. And please continue looking out for the different events. We don't have all the answers, we have some, but those that we know, we will gladly share with you so that we can all grow together. There is a saying that says, he who learns must share. So we have learned something. The first call I received from Mr. Mfamadi was to say, hey, we would like to have a discussion. And I said, I think this needs a much bigger audience. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I am going to just ask both Mr. Mfamadi and Mr. Matlo, just in 45 seconds, your lasting remarks as we close.
Jeff, you want to go first?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks very much for this opportunity. We really appreciate it. And yeah, if maybe you have another session, please feel free to call us so that we can share the knowledge and the info we have. And also from our side, when we have our other new campaigns, new products, yeah, we'll shout so that we can still have something like this. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. From myself, I will say to you guys, thank you, leadership. I just want to leave everyone with this words that says, it's not selfish to love yourself, take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. It's necessary. By saying this, I want to say to you, Aluta continua, guys. Good luck.
You were cutting right there at the end, but I suppose this wraps up today's session. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a real honor. Let's make this cycle bigger, and may God bless you. I thank you.